I walked into that restaurant with my cell phone like this, and I
Right.
walked in the front door, and the light's blinking red, showing everyone that the video is playing, and I'm going like this as I walk into the restaurant. As a customer in that restaurant, I would have a problem with somebody thinking it was okay to just come in and videotape me having dinner, a business dinner with another
Right.
lawyer. I'd have a big
Right.
problem with that. But on the other side of the coin, people need to get comfortable with the concept that just because you have Google Glass or some other type of device on you, a wearable device, which is the way these mobile devices are going, that doesn't necessarily mean it's on. It doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean anything inappropriate or illegal is taking place. So it's a real concern, but I think it's a societal concern. It's something that we all need to wrap our heads around
So
because
Well,
it's
it
not.
kind of adds to the aspect of the Big Brother and the video cams. Like London, for example, when they had those terrorist attacks a couple of years ago, it's like every step you take, there's a webcam watching the street. And you've got a little bit of that here in North America, but it's pretty vast in London what we hear. So how is this different than having a webcam on every street corner recording what's going on the street?
Well, Debbie, that's a really good question, but it comes down to what is your reasonable expectation of privacy? And 100 years ago, before we had video, before we had the internet, the reasonable expectation of privacy is you could walk down the street and not expect to be photographed or videotaped. That was the way things were 100 years ago. In today's world, as most of us know it, other than people living in oppressed countries, and it's going to change for them. When we walk down the street now, I don't think we have a reasonable expectation that we're not being videotaped.
Right.
There are surveillance cameras out on stores, on light posts. You have people walking around with Google Glass. You have people walking around with smartphones. And I think when we're walking around outside, we don't have that reasonable expectation that we're not being photographed or videotaped. However, if the two of you are to walk into my office right now and sit down with me right now, I think the two of you would have that reasonable expectation that we were
Yeah.
having a private, confidential meeting, and that without your permission, it would be improper for me to videotape you and then
Right.
put that on the internet. So, Debbie, I think it comes down to where we are and what you're doing, and that reasonable expectation of privacy. It changes each and every year as technology changes.